Picture this. You've spent hours on your screen tweaking that same project over and over, and you still don't feel it's good enough. Your to-do list keeps growing, you're exhausted by 3 p.m., and you're starting to wonder if this is just what work feels like now. Constant pressure, never-ending tasks, and burnout. But what if you could become 10 times more productive than you are now by implementing 5 simple work habit changes? And these aren't just some unfounded productivity hacks hidden on the deepest corners of the internet. These are habits taken from the Japanese, one of the most disciplined and respected cultures on earth. These are Japanese life habits backed by scientific research, and I've found they are perfectly suited for greatly improving the way you work as well. So let's get into improving your productivity with these 5 simple habits. Habit 1. Wabi-Sabi, the habit of imperfection. I used to obsess over making things perfect before releasing them. The perfect pitch deck, the perfect product launch, the perfect code. And you know what happened? I shipped nothing, or I shipped it so late that the moment had passed. Wabi-Sabi is the Japanese concept of embracing imperfection and impermanence. And here's how it applies to work. The best professionals don't chase perfection, they chase learning. Look at the best engineers. They don't spend months crafting the perfect app. They ship version 1, see what breaks, learn from it, and iterate. The best marketers don't wait for the perfect campaign. They test, gather data, and improve. Research shows that accepting imperfection is actually linked to better problem solving and emotional resilience, which means you can recover from mistakes faster. So here's the shift. Instead of asking, is this perfect? Start asking, is this good enough to learn from? The report you've been tweaking for hours, send it. That feature you're scared to release, ship it and gather feedback. The idea you've been sitting on, test it in a small way and see what happens. The fastest way to get better at work isn't to avoid mistakes. It's to make them quickly, learn from them, and move forward. Chasing perfection is a trap. Making progress is the goal. Habit 2. Hara Hachi Bu, the habit of eating. Okay, time for a confession. I actually used to destroy lunch. Like, I would eat a full plate, maybe even have seconds, and have dessert if there is. And then I would crash without fail. From 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., I'm just completely useless. Staring at my screen, pretending to work, but I'm really just waiting for my brain to come back online. Then I learned about Hara Hachi Bu, the Okinawan practice of eating until you're 80% full. It works because it takes your brain 15 to 20 minutes to register that you're full. When you eat to 100% or beyond, you're essentially overeating, which spikes your blood sugar and then crashes it. And that's the post-lunch slump. But when you stop at 80%, you maintain steady energy, stay in control of your mind, and you keep your focus sharp. So now, I eat a reasonable lunch. It's not tiny, but it's also not enough to keep me stuffed. And if I get hungry later, I just snack. But the difference in my energy from 1 to 5, it's night and day. I can actually get into flow state in the afternoon now, and it used to be impossible. So here's how to try it. Eat slower. Pause halfway through your meal and ask yourself, am I still hungry? Or am I just eating because it's there? Stop when you feel satisfied, not when you're stuffed. Your afternoon productivity is directly tied to how you fuel yourself. So eat to 80% and you'll work at 100 or maybe even more. Habit 3. Kaizen, the habit of improvement. Kaizen means continuous improvement, and it's the philosophy that made Toyota the most efficient car manufacturer in the world. What they did was empower their employees to think of 1% improvements in the production process. It could be something as small as changing the location of a screw dispenser or improving the height of workbench legs to make work easier. It didn't matter how small, as long as it was an improvement. The result? They saved 35 seconds per car through these tiny process improvements. And that may seem small, but globally, that added up to saving almost up to 10 years of work in a single year. But let's forget about cars. think about your work. What's one small thing you could improve this week? Maybe it's your note-taking system. You've been using random docs and losing track of things. So what if you spent 30 minutes setting up a simple structure? Maybe it's your coding workflow. What if you learned one new keyboard shortcut this week that saves you 5 seconds every time? That's hours saved in a year. Or maybe it's how you run meetings. What if you started sending agendas in advance and saved 10 minutes of, so what are we talking about today, at the start of every call? Kaizen isn't about massive overhauls. It's about asking, what's the one thing I can make 1% better today? So pick one thing, just one. Improve it this week, then pick another next week. In 3 months, you'll look back and barely recognize how much smoother everything runs. The compound effect is real. Small improvements, consistently applied, create exponential results. Habit 4. Shinrin-Yoku, the habit of reset. Here's what most of us do on breaks. We scroll our phones. We check Slack, skim emails, and then we wonder, why am I still exhausted after our break? Shinrin-Yoku, or forest bathing, is the Japanese practice of immersing yourself in nature to reset. And research shows it's not just relaxing. It actually lowers cortisol, boosts your immune system, and improves focus. In fact, in Japan, doctors literally prescribe it. Now, I know you're not gonna walk into a forest in the middle of your workday, but here's the principle. Your brain needs a real break, not a screen break, a break from input entirely. So here's what you can do. Every few hours, take 5 to 10 minutes away from your desk. Go for a walk outside if you can. No headphones, no podcasts, just walking and noticing what's around you. If you can't leave, then step away from your screen and stretch. Do some light movement. Stare out a window. Just let your mind wander. I started doing this, and honestly, it's when I have my best ideas. Not when I'm grinding at my desk, but when I'm giving my brain permission to do nothing. That's when the dots connect. That's when the solutions show up. Your best work doesn't come from sitting at your desk for 8 hours straight. It comes from working intensely, then resetting completely, and then coming back sharp. Habit 5. Ikigai, the habit of purpose. This is the last one, and it's also an important one. Ikigai, your reason for being. Here's what the research says. A study of Okinawan men showed that having a strong sense of purpose was linked to a 72% decrease in stroke and a 44% decrease in cardiovascular disease. People who know their why don't just live longer, they perform better. Because here's the truth. When your work is disconnected from your ikigai, it's just a grind. But when it's aligned, that's when you unlock a level of performance you didn't know you had. So ask yourself, why do I work? Is it for your family? To give them a better life, more opportunities, more security? Is it for yourself? To grow, to challenge yourself, to prove you can build something? Is it to make an impact? To solve a problem that matters to you? Your ikigai doesn't have to be some grand, world-changing mission. It can be simple and personal, but you need to know what it is. And here's the key. Align your daily work with it. If you're working for your family, remind yourself that on the hard days. If you're working to grow, seek out challenges that push you. If you're working to solve something meaningful, make sure you're spending time on the things that actually move the needle. When you connect your work to your why, everything changes. You stop procrastinating, you stop feeling resentful, you start showing up with energy because you remember what it's all for. So there you have it. 5 tiny Japanese habits that can 10 times your work without burning you out. Wabi-Sabi. Ship imperfect, learn fast. Hara Hachi Bu. Eat to 80%, work at 100. Kaizen. Find one thing to improve every week. Shinrin-Yoku. Take real breaks to reset your brain. Ikigai. Connect your work to your why. And remember, these habits don't just make you more productive. They make work feel more human, more sustainable, more like something you can actually keep doing for the long haul. So what are you waiting for? Pick one habit, try it this week, and see what happens. And let me know which one you're starting with, because I'd love to know about your progress too. Thanks for watching, and let's get to work.